Now, Adobe has just released a brand new feature for Lightroom and Lightroom Classic that people were pretty excited about, and I honestly thought it'd be a great feature. But after trying it, it unfortunately has failed my expectations just a little bit, and I've found that when you use it, it's actually making your photos worse by adding halos and making things just look bad. I've actually found a different way that you can use this tool to add some glow to your images on the horizon, and I actually think this is a really, really fun way to use this, and I almost guarantee you haven't seen this used this way quite yet. So I'm going to show you exactly why I don't like this new tool, and then in the second half of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use it to create glow in my images in a really unique way. Now, I'm out of the office right now, as you can tell, but let's go ahead and jump over right into Lightroom Classic. All right, so how most people are going to use this tool is honestly not really necessary, and most of the time it's going to actually make your photo look worse. Let me show you why with a couple examples, and then I'm going to show you really how to make this tool work well for you by adding some glow to your image. So in this image here, we're going to go to create a mask. Now I want to maybe brighten or add contrast to the foreground, so let's just do a sky mask and then we'll invert it because I don't think there's any mask that's going to select just the foreground. So we will select sky, and you can see, like usual, it does a pretty good job. A couple things that I'd rather this be, completely black or completely white here, but it does just fine. So then we'll go in, hit the three dots, and hit invert. Now we've got a mask of the foreground. Now the new options allow you to use feather to either feather the selection like that, or use edge to shift the edge. Now the problem is when you shift the edge, I'll show you by zooming in here. When you shift the edge, it lowers the resolution of the mask. So watch as I shift this and see how it's not just your YouTube that's blurry, it's actually getting blurrier as it shifts the edge rather than staying nice and sharp. It gets almost like it's pixelated. Now the problem with this is, if I was to go in here and let's just say I added a little contrast to the foreground and maybe I brought up the exposure of it just a little bit and maybe I bring up the shadows, and you can see it's made a small adjustment. Let's just make a bigger adjustment so that we can see exactly what's going on. This is further than you'd want to go. But you can see when I zoom in, honestly, it's not too bad. When I toggle this mask, there's not any bad halos. And that's really the reason why you would want to use this mask, to fix any halos. So what you'll notice if I increase the feather is now we start to introduce a halo here as we bring up the feather. And let me increase the exposure more so you can see it. So now we've got a halo on the edge and it just looks terrible. And then same thing with the edge. If we decrease the edge, or if then we create this like weird little, halo on the edge. And if we increase the edge, it now creates an opposite halo. So the problem with this tool is that usually the selection tools make a pretty good selection. And it's not that they need to be more or less selective. It's just that sometimes they don't do a great job in certain areas like down here, which is why the tool that we really need is something in order to tell Lightroom to say, hey, just make this adjustment completely black or completely white. I don't want any of this gray area in between. And there is still no way to do that, unfortunately. We'll look at the same thing on a wildlife photo. We've got the same problem. You create a subject selection here. Maybe we want to brighten the subject or darken the subject, or alternatively, maybe we want to do the inverse. We want to go in and we want to darken the background. So we've created this edge. Now it already looks pretty good with the standard mask. They've improved the mask a little bit. And the problem is, as I go in here, if I zoom in and I adjust the feather or the edge, it just doesn't really look good. It creates this halo on the edge. And maybe you'll find a photo or two this will work on, but I tried this on tons of my own images and I never found a single image that this would work well on. And everyone is talking about using this feature for something like this, but it's really just going to make the halos in your image worse. That's why I'm going to show you a way to use it that I'm almost confident that you haven't seen used before. And that's what I'm going to show you on this image. This is going to work great when you want to add some glow to your photos. So follow along because it's a little bit of a step-heavy process. Now we're going to go in to create a new mask. These masks are just other ones that I've created to do other things. This photo is mostly already edited. This is just kind of my final touch here. So I'm going to create a new mask and we are going to select sky. Now what we're going to do here is actually increase the feather, and then we're also going to increase the edge to just increase the amount of space that it goes beyond the sky. Now you'll see we should have made a selection that goes further beyond the sky, just like that. Now what I want you to do is go in and subtract a new sky. This might sound really counterintuitive because we are making a mask of the sky and then subtracting, but what you'll see is this creates this nice edge that makes a selection around the sky but not quite in the sky. Now we're going to take this second mask that we subtracted from And we are going to feather that as well. And then we are going to possibly decrease that edge. We just want to make the feather a little bit larger so it selects around the edge of the sky. And we can go back to the original mask, make adjustments as well if we want it to bleed over a little further. And this is going to make more sense in just a second. We're going to go with something like that. Now I want you to go in and increase the exposure, increase the temperature. We're going to scroll all the way down here, and we are going to drop the clarity and drop the dehaze. And I know this looks terrible up here. Don't worry, we're going to fix that in just a second. And we're going to drop the texture. We're going to go back up and increase the exposure. This is probably enough, but just for the sake of this edit so that you can see it on YouTube, we'll increase it just a little bit more, about to right there. Now you can toggle this and see that we've added this nice glow around the sky. Now we're going to go in with subtract, and I'm going to select objects. I want to just prevent any of this rock from getting painted in. So I'm just going to do a simple paint over the edge of the rock, come around and fill this in on the inside. That should subtract it from the rock just like that. Perfect. And we also want to subtract with a brush, and we will subtract everything up here and get rid of any of this extra bleed over. Now, if I go in here and toggle this eyeball, you can see we've added this nice little bit of glow on the horizon. I might even decrease the amount to make this a little more realistic, but this has really added some nice glow in the image. And that's really how we can use this tool in order to aid our images by doing something that was not really possible before, or was possible, but might have been a little bit more difficult. So you can do this to add glow to your sunset and sunrise images. That's really the best case and the best thing that I see that you can do with this new feather and edge select options. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for checking out this week's video. I truly hope that helps. Let me know down below in the comments if you found another way to use this tool that actually works really well, because like I said, I haven't had the best results. As always, I do really greatly appreciate you guys watching these videos, leaving me comments and subscribes to help me to continue to grow my channel. I want to help you get better at photography. You help me continue to grow my channel. If you like that video, I'll link another one here that's going to show you a really cool post-processing trick in Lightroom Classic. Definitely make sure to check that one out. Of course, let me know what you think down below in the comments. My name is Austin Jackson. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.